ones and twos. And I just come here to let y'all know it's about to get real filthy in this mother.
Yeah, no, if Kawhi resigns, it's gonna work my whole week.
No, it's not happening. He's coming to LA.
That's
Who don't
right.
want to play for the Lakers? With Bron and AD?
I know. That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. But don't get me started. Anyway, welcome to episode 32 of In Todd We Trust. We have Dre up here today. But heads up that you can access a ton of stuff with the podcast now at itwtpodcast.com for spoiler-free one-sentence reviews and movie ratings that don't ruin the movie. So if you want to check those out and haven't seen the movie yet, you want to know if you should see it, don't want to hear the review, check that out. Episode descriptions, Song of the Week playlist, and movie soundtrack playlist. So some fire tracks that I put together, curated by me for you all, and then submission form to be a guest on the show. No one's filled that out yet, which actually has made me a little sad. I would think that everyone would jump at the opportunity to be a guest on the show. So I'm just gonna chalk that up to enough people don't know about the website yet.
Yeah, that's what I would think, man.
So I'm gonna chalk it up to that. But anyway, podcast goes on Spotify and Apple Podcasts on Thursday, and then over the weekend is when I upload to YouTube. FYI. We are back in Foundation Studio recording today. It's been a little while, but I'm happy to be here. Happy that Dre is up here. Andres, a.k.a. Dre. Let me get that right. How you doing today?
I'm doing great, man. Happy to be here.
Yeah, all right, solid. Yeah, no, I wanted to have you up here. You know, we were planning for you to come up here anyway, because I know you were planning on or still planning to do a podcast. We had just been chatting about it. I was like, might as well just have you come on as a guest. So anyway, former Spartan football manager. That's how we met. I too was a manager, but I didn't really consider myself part of the pack. I was a lot cooler than them, so I considered myself to just be Todd. I just was Todd who worked at the football building.
Yeah, Todd's the legend up there.
Yeah.
Still is.
I hope, man. Keep my name, preserve my legacy, man.
Oh, man, you already know.
But yeah, starting your own podcast soon. Are you ready to disclose what the details of the podcast? I don't even think we talked about what your podcast is going to be about.
So I'm actually getting ready to start two different podcasts. The first podcast
it.
is a podcast with my uncle, who's also the Reverend Robert E. Millhouse of New Friendly Missionary Baptist Church. It's called Raise a Ruckus Podcast.
Okay.
And it's he's not one of your traditional Baptist church traditional Baptist church preachers. So he's one of those. He talks to us.
Right.
So, kind of want to get him on a different platform, get him elevated. You can come here and speak any Sunday, 11 o'clock, at New Friendly Missionary Baptist Church right around the corner.
Awesome.
But the second podcast is a podcast I'm doing with actually one of my best friends, and I think Jerome when he come back from Colorado.
Jerome.
I'm going to rope him in on it. But it's called Real Talk Podcast.
Okay.
And it's pretty much millennials discussing millennial things.
Okay. Got it. Yeah, I feel like it's I've seen a couple of that type of concept. Mm-hmm. Obviously, depending on the people, the conversation can vastly change, even if we're talking about the same stuff. But, to the church one, I actually had a conversation with my pastor from college, and was talking about how powerful a tool podcasting could be for churches, especially churches trying to reach a young group, especially if it's a church that's on a college campus, near a college campus. How, for me, it would be really helpful if I miss a service, or for my last job, I traveled 35% of the time. Even if they just simply took the sermon and just put it just recorded it and then upload it to Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Yeah. Like, that would be super helpful, and it would be a great way to reach the masses. You'd even have members who don't even go to the church. Or don't go to the church, but members who aren't, local.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you have a lot of those people, and you don't lose out on people who move away and stuff like that. So, I don't know, just an idea. There's really easy, simple, just taking what you're already doing, but just putting it on a different platform.
Yeah, that's pretty much the game plan right there.
Yeah. Hopefully it works out for him, man. I mean, his mind's in the right place, and it's a very cheap, effective way to reach a lot of people.
Yeah.
So you graduated in advertising.
Yes, sir.
People out there, he has a bald head now, and he's ready to put his thinking cap on. He's ready to replace his hair with thinking cap. So if you want to hire him, hit him up. He just graduated from MSU. Smart kid. You have a LinkedIn, I'm assuming.
Yes, I do.
Already, yes. I'm always tempted to use LinkedIn like Twitter. Like, I so badly want to put like super ignorant, stupid stuff on LinkedIn just as like I don't care, but I'm also not at a point where I'm financially stable enough or stable enough in my career to do that and then just be like, I don't care what a future employer thinks. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like you got to kind of be the CEO to do stuff like that. I also really want to troll people too on LinkedIn, which it just is not, it's not commonplace and it's not acceptable on that platform, but I'm so tempted when I see my friends who I know are wild but are posting super professional on LinkedIn, and I'm like, oh, I want to call them out so bad, but you know.
You're going to be the first person to get kicked off from LinkedIn.
Yeah, right? Yeah, I get banned.
Yeah, first person to be banned.
You know, I feel like they would ban me.
They probably
would.
would.
I feel like, thinking about, like, because I get those direct messages from, like, LinkedIn people like, hey, if you want to start premium, if you're looking to recruit, like, you know, all that crap. So they probably would, you know, they probably do monitor very closely your activity. A question, can you slide into someone's DMs on LinkedIn?
I think you can. I'm 99% sure you can, because I thought about it.
And when I say can, I don't necessarily mean like literally is that a possibility? Like, yeah, obviously you can direct message someone if you got like the credits or whatever certain profile, premium profile, but is it appropriate?
I mean, I've seen people find their wives at church, so I mean, that in my mind that might be the most non-appropriate spot to find somebody at.
I don't know, Dre.
So LinkedIn, I mean, it's a social media platform.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Here's the thing: LinkedIn is probably, arguably the best because you get a lot of information off of LinkedIn, right?
Yeah.
You find first of all, you see the picture. First of all,
it's always a good picture.
Always a good picture, professional picture. You see where they went to school. You see their career, see what they're about. If they're ambitious, you know what I mean? You see what they're about, volunteer experience on some of them, where they live. I mean, you get a lot of information on LinkedIn. When I say where they live, I don't mean that in a creeper stalker way. I just mean if they're in the same vicinity as you. But that's huge, man. Like, so I was thinking about it today. It wasn't anyone specific, but I just was I was thinking, yo, that's not a bad way to hit someone up.
I mean, the only problem with it would be, you know, you get people that you get the posers.
That is true. Like I was just saying, the people who are wild trying to act professional. That is true.
So you catch Susie on there. You think Susie is an angel. You know, volunteer. Next thing you know, you at some party tied up in the bathroom. Right. Nah, you don't know how that happened. But you slid in their DMs.
Oh snap! That is man. They got real fast.
Oh yeah.
Oh man. All right. Anyway, off of LinkedIn, what is your song of the week?
My song of the week right now is. It's tough because Chance has put out that new the 10-day and the what's his name mixtapes.
Oh, his old ones that he just put up to
And I've been banging those pretty hard.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I've been listening to The Gambler like crazy for some reason.
Who is The Gambler?
The Gambler by Kenny Rogers.
No,
you gotta know when to hold him.
Oh, like throwback. Yeah, okay, got it. Yes.
Yeah. But new music, anything off that Chris Brown album.
Okay. I gotta get through that. It's like 150 tracks on Chris Brown's new album, just like the last one. But there were, Heartbreak on a Full Moon. There were some joints on that, so I do have to sift through. I did see a funny tweet that said Chris Brown has been giving us the same song for the last 45 years, and it's funny because I do like a lot of Chris Brown's music. I don't like Chris Brown the person. After the Rihanna thing, I was one of the people who never forgave him for it just because I love Rihanna so much and just because I just think it's unacceptable. But anyway, his music is funny because I knew exactly what they meant because he has. You could probably name about 50 Chris Brown songs that sound the exact same, right? With slightly different lyrics. Even the lyrics are very similar. You're talking about the same thing every single time. Very talented. But I do need to get through the album because there probably is like 3, 4, 5 songs that it's fire. So
at this point, I think Chris is just giving us. He's just throwing out a whole bunch of music. Take it. He's doing what Kanye's going to start doing in a couple minutes. Just throwing out music. If you like it, you like it. If you don't.
I'm an artist. This is where I'm at right now.
Right.
So
you streamed it, so I'm getting paid anyway.
True, very true. My song of the week is "Racks" by Her. Or Her if you're not familiar. I really like her. No pun intended. She has a beautiful voice. Whenever she drops a project, well, this was just a single, but whenever she drops a project, there's always a few bangers that you can play on repeat. She's very talented. She's gone more commercial, which I don't hate that. She was a little bit more woke in her music, I feel like, to start out, but now it's starting to go more towards mainstream, which is cool because this music is good. She can do both. So I think it's important to be able to do both and tread that line so that you're still getting paid and you still have a long career, but you're still giving us good content. So I do like this song. I have been bumping it big time. This is definitely one of her She's Not Talking About Anything songs, but it's hard.
Oh man, another song that has been like heavy on my rotation is "Black Men Don't Cheat." But
I've never heard that.
It's a song by Lil Duval and Charlamagne the God.
Oh, so it's a joke song.
Yeah, it's one of those, but it's hilarious.
Okay, I'm gonna listen to it just because I do like both of them and they are both hilarious. I love both of them. I'm a huge fan of Charlamagne. I like Lil Duval too. I grew up watching a lot of Breakfast Club stuff, and then Lil Duval. First time I actually saw him or knew who he was what's the name of that? Guy Code on MTV.
Oh yeah.
I wasn't familiar with him until then, and then I saw him on there, and then following him. He has a funny Twitter and stuff like that. So, all right. So we have random rapid fire. So I'm gonna hit you with 9 questions this week. Random questions.
Okay.
On the fly, no preparation. You ready?
Let's do it.
All right. Did you believe in monsters at any point growing up?
Yes, I did.
You did?
I thought I was one of them kids that thought I had a monster in my closet, so I never went in my closet.
I thought there was a vampire in my closet too, and a raccoon under my bed. I've talked about that before on here, but I don't know why. Were you scared of monsters as a kid?
No, I wasn't.
No, never scared. So you thought they were in the closet, but you weren't scared?
Yeah, I named them.
Oh, wow.
I named them. They were my friends.
Wow.
Yeah, grew up. I was a weird kid.
Yeah, I was about to say, you're a little off. Yeah. Godzilla or King Kong in a fight? Who you taking?
Oh, I'm going King Kong.
Okay,
King Kong all day.
Yeah, Kong was nothing to mess with. He didn't really falter.
No,
you know what I mean? He didn't.
No.
That's the thing is that like Godzilla had. We're gonna get to it, but Godzilla had some points where I'm like, my guy, you gotta. This movie should be renamed to someone else because you are not the king. What monster would you be if you're a monster?
It would probably be King Kong.
What would your my follow-up was what would your monster name be?
I don't know. I mean, I would love to keep it King Kong, but if I had to change it, I just
can't
put
take
Dre.
the man's name.
I just put Dre.
Just Dre.
Oh, it's Dre coming.
There's King Kong. There's Godzilla. There's like whatever, all these like huge names, and then Dre. You just have Dre.
My issue was like,
would you be King Kong with like a do-rag on or like what?
Nah, with the bandana.
Just
you gotta
Dre.
keep the bandana. I don't know how we're gonna find.
Oh my god!
They come up with some legend, say like I took a snake, like a giant snake, and just like wrapped it around my head or something.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Just Dre.
I'm gonna talk to the people that made King Kong, and we're gonna figure something out. We're gonna get that Dre movie out there.
Yeah, it's gonna be like the from the makers of King Kong and Soul Plane. We bring you Dre. Like what? Would you risk your? This is a serious one. Would you risk the lives of an entire country for the sake of one person?
No.
All right.
Nah.
Noble. Would you rather be a monster? Just for clarity on my viewpoint on that, I've always said like growing up, I have a little sister, and obviously like as an older brother, it's like you protect your little sister.
Yeah.
And you see these movies where they're like, hey, we can't save one person if it means we're gonna have to kill like if 1,000 people will die.
Yeah,
and I'm like, if I'm gonna be completely honest with myself, I'd let 6 billion people die before I let my sister die, and I would sleep well that night, very well. Someone right now said snap right now. It's either your sister or 6 billion people. I'd be like 6 billion people right now. Make it 6.5 if you want. But that is me. I don't know. That's not right, wrong to sway any opinions, but I do know that about myself, and I can admit that.
I don't think it's a right or wrong answer.
No, it's not.
It's how you live with yourself after you do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, hey, my thing is like, how would that person respond? Like, if
Yeah.
it was the boot was on the other foot, would they want to sacrifice me, or would they want to save everybody else? Or sacrifice everybody else? So,
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Hey, also, if it's on the other side, save me. I'll just let y'all know now, but I want. I'll let you know straight up. I want to be saved.
So let them go.
Yeah, let them go. They have their time. Would you rather be? I have a lot of life to live, Dre. Would you rather be a monster that is extremely big, extremely strong, fast, can fly, can shoot lightning from its mouth, or can live underwater? You can only choose one of those.
Give me extremely strong. Because if I'm extremely strong, then when I say extremely strong, I think of Hulk.
Yeah.
You can those jumps.
That's
you
true.
Jumping miles.
Basically flying.
Yeah. So I'm there.
You don't need to be big if you're super strong.
Not at all.
Okay,
and
I got
if
it.
I'm super strong and fighting somebody with lightning in their mouth, I can maneuver because you gotta aim for me.
True. Okay.
By the time you find me, it's a car coming at your face. So
I like where your mind's at. I'm going with I'm probably either going with the speed. I'm either going with super fast or I'm going with living underwater because majority of the planet's water. So I'm like, I can duck away. We can't, if you're on land, you can only access a part of the planet. If you can go underwater, you can access the majority of the planet. Yeah, plus land. So it's like you get 100%. So, I don't know. Go-to slushy flavor.
I'm from Detroit, so it's Vernors.
You'd be shocked how many different answers I get for go-to slushy flavors because I thought I was going to get either red or blue. But I've gotten probably 8-9 different answers. It's amazing. If you had to rewatch the same movie for the rest of your life, what would it be?
That's a tough one. 'Cause I want to say I'm Gonna Get You Sucker, but that movie is old. It's a Keenan Ivory Wayans movie.
I don't even know what it is. I don't even know what that is.
It's
a wrong answer.
It's like the 70s, like type old. So, with new age movie, probably The Inventors.
Really? Okay. Which one?
The last one.
Okay.
The last one.
It was really good. It was really good. I gave it a really good rating on here. I did enjoy it a lot. Okay. All right. All right. So before we get into the movie review, I went to the theater and one of the trailers was for a new shark movie, and it made me think: how many times are they gonna? Well, you know what? Not how many times are they gonna make shark movies, right? The question more so is, how do they keep getting the funding? And I've brought this up multiple times in the podcast of how I don't understand how some movies get funding.
Yeah.
Who's paying for that?
Well, I mean, Discovery Channel got like the whole Shark
Week don't even
thing,
so yeah.
Funding is out there. Funding is out there for anything.
I guess so, man. I mean, that's the thing is for me, I'm one of those people that, I'll definitely throw shade and make crack jokes at stuff, but I'm not really, I wouldn't consider myself a hater. So I don't see that and think, they shouldn't get that. I should have got money for it. You know what I mean? I look at it and think, oh, wow, that's successful? Yeah. Oh, I know I can kill it then doing something. That's more so how the approach I take. So it's motivation of wow, if that's the bar that they're setting, then man, I can knock it out the park. So I saw that and I'm just how many are they going to do? It's as
many as they can, right? They can. If you miss 100, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, right?
I guess so.
They're taking all the shots that they can find.
You know what? If I was in a meeting for a firm that was providing funding,
I can see it now.
And they come in with this pitch. We got the shark movie, but it's not what you think. It's two girls that go scuba diving, and then the shark comes out. If I can see them, and then I go to rebuttal, and they say, "Oh wait, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take." I would be so mad. I would punch them in the face.
They got this an alligator movie coming out too.
Bro, what?
Movie?
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's
how many of those are gonna make?
I don't know, but this one just got a twist to it. So it's the world is flooding.
It has a twist.
The world is flooding, and the crocodiles are only in this one house.
Okay.
So I'm
so it's not. Is it a twist or is it just bad writing?
It's a little bit of both, but they got funding. It's been in every movie theater I've seen. So
where are you going to the theaters? I haven't even seen that yet.
It's called
what movie are you going to see, man? Come on,
it's
get
called
out here.
Crawl, and the whole movie is underwater.
What theaters you be going to in Detroit, man? You be going to the Detroit local only theaters, man. What was that?
The AMC's. The AMC's. I've been to an AMC 4 times this week.
Getting you, man.
Yes.
That is funny. I actually haven't been to the theater twice this week. I went and saw, obviously, Godzilla yesterday, and then Monday I went and saw Dark Phoenix, which I won't talk about on here just because I want to stick to one movie, but I will do I think I'm going to do an Instagram story giving a review of Dark Phoenix, because I'm not going to actually do it for the podcast, but I do love X-Men, so I'm going to talk about it. Also, real quick, before we get started, really random, I'm tired of Solange.
Solange? Beyonce's sister Solange?
No, yes. And here's what I mean by I'm tired of her. I'm not tired of her. I'm tired of the fans of Solange. I feel like people gravitate towards her because they think she's deep. They think she's woke, so it's "Woo, we love like Solange is fire," and I'm like, she's not that fire. Like you all want to seem deep, so you say you like her, and people, I keep saying like, yo, she's just a lesser version of Beyonce, and then people are like, oh, they're just different, and I'm like, no, they're not. They are different, but Beyonce's better. Like let's get it out there that it's not like she's in her own lane. Like she is in her own lane, but she's all still less than Beyonce. It's a hierarchy. Like,
is she really in her own lane though?
Yeah, I was like, her own lane was created because of Beyonce's highway.
Right.
Like, she's just an exit off the highway. Like, that's like, come on, let's not make it seem like she's her own major highway system. Like,
I've never really messed with Solange, especially after like I'm a big Jay-Z fan. So when she beat up Jay in the elevator, I was like, oh no, I really can't mess with you.
Oh, you trash. So you gonna?
Nah, because that man ain't do nothing.
Wait, what are you talking about? Cheated on Beyonce.
But
what?
Still, don't give you a reason to beat this man up in the elevator.
Oh man, that's. I think that's plenty. Good reason. And then Jay even said on his album that he was like what did he say? What's the bar? Talking about how he basically antagonized her in that song and killed Jay-Z. He was like, yeah, like I was antagonizing Solange, like, and it's like, yeah, bro, like you cheated on her and then gonna say like what you gonna do about it? Like what? Like I can see him doing it.
I mean,
and I love Jay too. Like don't get me wrong, like I love Jay, and like that was trash. Like that was trash.
Yeah, but even before that, I didn't mess with Solange because in my mind it was like Beyonce is like the star of the family, and then Solange is like, all right, I'm gonna try to be her as much as possible.
Yeah.
And then I was like, at one point in my mind, Solange was a better actor than Beyonce in my mind when they were younger.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with that.
So I'm like,
stick
on that role. Play to your strengths.
Yeah.
And because after listening to this last album, I didn't even make it all the way through.
The album was whack. The last album was whack, and no one wants to talk about it, but the album was whack. The album before was popular. It wasn't for me, but I will acknowledge that it was like, it wasn't a bad album. It just wasn't for me, and I wouldn't be intended audience, obviously. But this past one was just straight up whack, and no one's talking about the album at all. So I know y'all thought it was whack too, but just don't want to say it. But anyway, enough of Solange. On to Godzilla, because I have a lot of thoughts about Godzilla. Yeah. IMDb description: the Zoological Agency. I'm sorry if I can't read. Monarch faces off against a battery of god-sized monsters, including the mighty Godzilla, who collides with Mothra, Rodan, and his ultimate nemesis, the three-headed King Ghidorah. And then we have Dre. It released May 31st. Notable cast: Kyle Chandler, Vera Farmiga, who's also in Orphan, Bates Motel, and The Conjuring, so she's obviously just a creeper in general. She's in some other stuff too, but I just wanted to highlight the creepy stuff she's in, because whenever I see her, I get chills now. Millie Bobby Brown, who's obviously from Stranger Things. I don't know if I've ever gone on my Stranger Things rant on this podcast. I won't today, but yeah, I don't like Stranger Things, and ask me why if you want to know. Ask me why offline, yeah, off air. But Thomas Middleditch, who is from the Verizon commercials, and I did not realize that till almost the end of the movie.
I didn't realize that.
I'm gonna show you him. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about now? In the movie?
I still don't.
I'm gonna show you him. He's from the Verizon commercial. I'll show you. Anyway, map I'm gonna pull it right now. Sorry, listeners. Sorry. I have to Google it.
O'Shea is in that too, ain't he?
Yeah, O'Shea. I didn't even mention him because I think he's whack, but he is in it. That guy.
Oh
yeah, he's from Verizon.
He's from Verizon commercial.
Yeah, man. That's Verizon guy. I didn't even think he was a real actor. I thought he was just on the Verizon commercial. I'm like, he made. I was like, man, he got him a spot. And I saw he was an actual actor with actual credits, and I was like, oh shoot. Right. Director and writer for this, Michael Dougherty. I think I'm saying it right. Whatever his name is, Michael, MD. He also did Krampus. Crap, obviously. Superman Returns, which was whack too. But then I'm so torn here because I was so ready to just rip this guy apart, and then I saw that he also did X2, X-Men United, which is like one of my favorite movies of all time, and then X-Men Apocalypse, which I liked. It's not one of my favorite movies, but it's a good X-Men movie, and I love the X-Men. So I was like, gosh, why did he have to do like some movies that I actually like, so I can't just completely rip his talent? So I think I will say though, I think he just struck lightning with the X-Men movies, but the other ones, including this, which I'll get into in a second here. I was not a fan of. Runtime for the movie was 2 hours, 12 minutes. Sounds like Dre liked this movie, so we're going to have some. This is going to be a good conversation. So before I go in to what I thought, any thoughts you need to get off your chest, straight? Initial thoughts, just overview, and then we'll get into details.
Initial thoughts, I thought we was gonna see way more Kong.
Oh, no Kong.
Like they show like flashes to Kong. They're like, oh, we awakened everything. I'm like, oh, okay, so Kong's gonna show up at some point.
Right.
No Kong.
Yeah, he was
disappointed me. I was like, wow.
I agree. I was disappointed in that. So you said you saw this twice.
Yeah, I did. I went to see it twice.
Is that because you liked it, or because you couldn't believe how bad it was, or what was the? So you had to confirm.
I actually liked it. The first time I went to see it by myself, and I was like, okay, I like it. But me and my grandmother are both movie fanatics, especially like King Kong, Superman, any action movie. Yeah, she's there. So I was like, well, let me go take her. So this morning I took my little brother and my grandmother to go see it, and she loved it. He fell asleep. I loved it. She had a lot to say afterwards. So
yeah.
I was like, hey,
well, good. I'm glad that at least the movie brought you all some joy, some family time. With that being said, me going to the theater, so I did like the trailer. Now let me make it clear. I knew it was gonna be whack, right? So in my opinion, I thought the movie was whack. I am happy that Dre's grandmother liked it. I did, however, not like it. I like the trailer. I like the music. They had like what is it? Pure Imagination playing in the background. It was like all fancy. You see all the monsters going crazy. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. Cinematography was cool, but I was like, this is about to be. I wasn't expecting much. But saving grace, similar to you, I said Kong was good. Skull Island was solid. It was a really solid movie.
I think it was Sam.
Because of who? Samuel Jackson. I was about to say Brie Larson was in it, so I love Brie Larson. But yeah, I mean, obviously, you can't disregard Samuel Jackson. Right. And then they're both in it together in the Marvel movies, which is funny. But yeah, so that was really good. So I was like, you know what? Maybe they will get this right. And I couldn't really remember the first Godzilla that came out, or the first one of this series that came out several years ago. What was it? I think it was 2014. Is it 14?
I remember it was trash.
14. So I didn't really remember. I remember it wasn't amazing, so I was like, that's not a good sign. But I was like, you know what? Kong was good. Let me just go see it. So, let me start with Millie Bobby Brown. It was weird hearing her speak because I'm used to her being silent in the Stranger Things. So that was weird hearing her voice for me. Also, side note, has nothing to do with the movie. Her relationship with Drake. Do you know like her and Drake are like best friends?
No, I did not.
Really weird because she's like 12 years old, and Drake's a grown man.
I mean, Michael Jackson was best friends with Fonso Rivero. So
I mean, that's a bad example.
That's right.
I hope you realized that as it was coming out.
Yeah. I was halfway through and I was like, I gotta keep it going.
Yeah, you gotta keep. Yeah, you got dedicated at that point. Now. But her relationship with Drake, like I saw an interview. She's like, yeah, like I love Drake. Like we text all the time, and like I'm like, it's cool to be like I met Drake. Drake was really nice. Cool. I was on set with Drake at this movie or this show or commercial or promo, and it was dope. But me and Drake text all the time.
Well, you gotta think Drake also was a kid actor too, so he could be, looking at it from that standpoint. Yeah, he could be giving her some tips, like, "Hey,
I'm sure
I learned off Degrassi." Even though I don't think you can learn that much off of Degrassi.
Hey, don't throw shade at. I love Degrassi. I'm a huge Degrassi fan, so tread lightly.
Yeah, Todd's about to kick me off the podcast. I'm the first person off the podcast.
Ended shortly, 10-minute episode. No, to your point, yeah, I agree with you. I'm messing, Matt. I still think it's weird. Like it's just not. Yeah. But I think they're in a weird industry. I mean, obviously entertainment's weird, and I think that Drake, from all accounts that I've ever heard, is that he's a good dude. Yeah. Hit a kid, but whatever. But I do think Drake's a good dude, and I don't think that he's probably not saying anything inappropriate. It's just you gotta be careful with that, right? Yeah. Do you watch Game of Thrones?
Yes, I do.
Tywin Lannister in the movie, right? So they should have known. I knew he was evil. I mean, obviously, when he was introduced in the movie, you already knew he was with the bad guys. Right. But you can't trust the Lannister. So that was a bad part on Emma, the Dr. Emma or whatever.
Yeah. Once I seen him, I was like, oh, come on, man. What? That's the best. Like right now, that's the best villain out there.
Yeah.
You can't get no better, especially the amount of people that watch Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
And as soon as he stepped on scene, it was like I was like, oh.
Yeah, he's menacing. He's
yeah.
menacing. Yeah, so I mean, you just know he's gonna be bad. Right. So O'Shea, is it O'Shea or O'Shea?
O'Shea.
O'Shea Jackson. Do you like O'Shea?
Yeah, I do.
This is the second movie I think that I've reviewed that he's in. Maybe the third, but definitely the second. I remember Long Shot. I know he was in that. I definitely think that he is an actor. Well, it's no secret that he got into acting and has his platform because of his father. I mean, that's obvious. But that doesn't necessarily mean that that doesn't mean that he hasn't like sustained or like proven himself. Mm-hmm. However, I do think that he hasn't proven himself because the stuff I see him in, I'm like, come on, man. Like I wouldn't let O'Shea Jackson act in a church play. I wouldn't.
I mean, I would, but you gotta think about it. In each movie, he's either played one or two roles. It's either been, the bad boy role like his father.
Yeah.
Or he's in some type of military form.
Yeah.
So, he played Ice Cube in
Right.
NWA.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then he was in Kong too. I mean, he was in Skull Island.
Oh, he was in Skull Island. Okay.
Yeah.
I know he was in, what else was he? I mean, what did I just see the other day? Dinner Thieves, he's in that.
Yeah. So,
yeah. So, I mean, he's in stuff.
Yeah. He knows his role and he plays it well.
Yeah.
And then I heard that he's pretty much doing the reverse of Ice Cube. Like Ice Cube started with music and then went into this.
Yeah.
So like he's taking over his
Wait,
father.
he's about to start doing music?
No, he's not rapping.
Oh my goodness.
Nah, he's
oh my goodness, I was about to go in.
He's like taking over Ice Cube's recording company.
Oh, okay.
So he's like the business side.
Good for him. Okay, that's what's up. I do like to hear that. Like, you got Cube, who obviously comes from a rough background, made it out, now has a son and put him in a position to be really successful without having to struggle,
right.
The same way that he had to. Obviously still work hard, but not have to struggle, risk his life, stuff like that. So I do like seeing that.
Yeah,
so shout out to them.
That's another thing I like about him, like, not to keep the rant going about
right.
him, but he's a workaholic. Like,
yeah.
At one point he was in like every other movie that came out. Him and the rest of the cast from NWA. He was like in everything that came out at one point. So I'm like, that's
good for him. I can't hate on that. I mean, I can still talk about his acting, but as far as just like him working, like shout out to him. Shout out to the Jackson family. Dr. Emma in this movie. She pissed me off so much, and she was just so dumb, and they should have killed her. So here's the thing: if my wife puts our child's life in danger twice, like one already is dead, and then you put the other one's life in danger, I gotta take you out. I'm sorry. I love you. Obviously, I married you. Like, I vowed to keep you safe and safe. I gotta take you out. Like, you can't keep killing the kids. Like, come on now.
That part was she thought she was so right. So like, this is what we need to do. We gotta awaken everybody. And then
it's just I just knew. I was like, they better kill her before this is over. And obviously, she died, but she died a hero's death, which she didn't deserve. She did not deserve to be like the hero who went and saved it. Like, you made the mess. Like, you're just cleaning up your own mess.
Yeah, I mean, so. Yeah.
I get the redemption thing, but I'm just like,
but she really can't be redeemed because the monster is still out there.
Yeah, and how about all the 1,000 people she killed, and she knew that they were gonna get killed. Like, she knew, like, we just gotta wipe out these people because it's monster time. Like, what is this?
You know what I thought when she went on her rant about what was about to happen?
Yeah.
Number one, I flashed back to like old school cartoons where the villain always like, yeah, this is how I did it.
This is my plan.
Right, and then they take like half an hour to talk about it.
Yeah.
But I also thought about back to the Avengers, Thanos.
Yeah.
I'm like, everybody's coming to the Earth talking about we gotta wipe everybody out. Stop touching stuff. Just let stuff be.
Just let stuff be. Yeah. They always have these crackpot theories, but there's and I detailed. There's a few different types of villains, right? Mm-hmm. So there's either you have the twisted view villain, right? Who truly thinks that what they're doing is the right thing. Right. So that's her. That's Thanos. Mm-hmm. And they are Thanos, but they feel like they are justifying their actions, and they feel like it's really for the greater good. Mm-hmm. Then you have the revenge villain, right? So they had a traumatic experience that turns them evil, and they can't forgive people. Right. So it's just vengeance. The entire time is just getting back at a person, society, a group of people. Some type of revenge is their drive, right? And then you have a villain who's like the chaos villain. And I think about the quote, some men just want to see the world burn. So, because obviously Joker is the perfect example of a chaos villain who is the most dangerous because they have nothing to lose, because as long as they disrupt your plan or disrupt the order, then they've won. Yeah, and that's like that type of, again, that type of villain, they don't really care. They don't really have an agenda. Their only agenda is to just make things chaotic. Right. I think that's the most dangerous. But I mean, I quote Batman movies often. Like I literally quote Bane's monologue every time I play laser tag. Like like you merely adopted the dark. I quote that in his voice every time I play laser tag, which is what all the cool kids do. For the record, but yeah, the one, you know who else annoyed me in this movie? I think he was on the good side. Mm-hmm. He was on Monarch, the white guy with the glasses with the gray hair, who wasn't the villain.
He was the scientist.
He just talked too much. Yeah,
doctor, yeah.
Yeah, it's like shut. He just kept trying to be funny. He was trying. He was acting so hard to be funny, and I was like, cut it out.
I think that's the writers trying to force a joke in there where there's no
joke
in there.
Yeah,
like, come on, man. You might as well just let it be. Let it be. It's gonna happen eventually.
Yeah.
Like the main character. What was his name? The father.
Yeah.
He was funny alone, just like off of weed.
Just being pissed. Yeah, exactly.
So I'm like, you ain't got to put the other dude.
It was not necessary. Wasn't necessary.
Let the doctor be the doctor. You sit in the back and be like, oh, something's happening. And then you go shut up and be in the back. Something like that. Nah.
Come on, man.
He had a catchphrase and everything. I'm like, oh, what? You're the doctor.
Yeah, but yeah, it was just, I'm with you. I agree with everything you just said. I don't know what that was about. But again, just going into this movie, it's a lot of things. I'll get into I have a whole portion right here that says make it make sense. For things that I thought just like, come on, guys. Godzilla, let's touch on him real quick. Mm-hmm. The three-headed monster ate Godzilla's lunch, the first fight, and other fights to follow. Yeah. But to me, if someone slides you like the first fight, I don't really care how it ends. Like, you lost. Like, and I did that with Black Panther too. Like when Killmonger threw him off the waterfall. Like for me, the movie was over. Like I was like, I don't care what you do now. Like he already parked you off the waterfall. Like, it's over. Same thing with this. When he just straight up mangled Godzilla the first time, I was like, and just went off into the clouds, like, whatever, right? I was like, I don't need to see anything else. Like, Godzilla, you are whack for, like, you're trash for that. Like, this dude been asleep for thousands of years. You've been out getting stronger. You've been stretching. This dude came off no warm up and dropped Godzilla. What are you doing?
I mean,
it's unacceptable.
Yeah,
right?
It is.
Homie came off the bench and dropped Godzilla like he was a starter.
But at the same time, I mean, like they said in the movie, their battles have been legendary. So they've been doing it for centuries. So Godzilla's probably like, he just been somewhere hiding too. He didn't think he was asleep. So,
man.
The three-headed monster had that rest. He came off. I would put it
guess maybe he had rest.
About a week.
Okay, he had
Godzilla
rest.
had a real,
Godzilla was still okay. All right.
He was still kind of banged up from the last fight in 2014.
All right, I give you that. Then Godzilla got the extra boost, right? And obviously it ends with Godzilla winning. Obviously that's how they're gonna do it. But with huge help from the humans, mm-hmm. right? They were acting like Godzilla was Jesus. Like they were like, what? They had a line in there that what did they say? They come like they said, like the villains, like they come only to destroy or something like that. It was like a quote from the Bible, and I was like, are they Satan now, or it's like what? And they're like then like it was like Godzilla sacrificed himself for humanity. I'm like, he didn't die on the cross. Like it's like what?
But I seen that a lot too, because it was like one scene where the three-headed monster had kind of
the cross,
cross, and then right before that they was like, well, you got a crazy name for this one too? Yeah. It's just like they call it the demon bird or something like that, or Satan's bird or I'm like, okay, so y'all really leaning onto this Christian thing.
Yeah, it kept. I didn't like the Bible allusions in this. It was unnecessary. Here's the thing, it wasn't clever. Like it was a poorly written film, and then you just throw the Bible allusions in there for no reason, and then you have like the shot where the bird is like, whatever, is like on the mountain, and like the cross is off to the side, which made no sense, and just was like, what are you doing? Also, he didn't just beat Godzilla once. When he dropped Godzilla from the sky,
oh man,
he picked Godzilla up, takes him up like however many, like to cruising altitude, and then drops Godzilla on his back, and I'm just like, At what point do you... Here's the thing. Godzilla's already lost style points.
Right.
Like, he's lost so many style points that he's already lost the fight. Like, even when he came back and won, I was like, honestly, King Ghidorah won. Because you got flossed on the whole movie. Like, you had one, like, redeeming moment at the end where you just, like, went, like, Super Saiyan. But, like, the whole movie, you just were getting washed.
I mean, and that's the bad part is that was even after he got the the little power boost
Yeah.
and everything. So I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm thinking, okay, the movie's about to end. We're about to get ready to roll.
I thought he was
He's
gonna
about to
blow
just
him
knock
up in
out.
the sky.
Nah.
No.
He still needed help. I was like, oh wow. So I'm gonna tell you what I thought at the end of the movie once we get done with towards the end of the podcast.
Your final words.
Yeah.
But that was I didn't understand that. And then the butterfly. So they kept coming back to this. So the movie starts. The first monster we even see is this giant caterpillar that ends up becoming a butterfly. And I love when before it became a butterfly, they were like, who knows what that thing will turn into? It's gonna turn into a butterfly. That's what caterpillars do. What are you talking? Like, what's the confusion about? I was like, wait, what can a caterpillar turn into? Like a lion? Like it's gonna turn into a butterfly.
And that's another thing. Like I'm not sure it's still a butterfly though, because I've never seen a butterfly with a stinger.
Yeah, it did have a stinger, and it was still pointless. It was still it took out one monster, but they were like, it's the queen of the monsters and all this stuff like that.
Did it really take out one monster?
Yeah, it didn't. It didn't really though. Like the monster was already like half dead.
Right.
Like they had already Godzilla had kind of like given it that work already, and then it was like she came in for the final kill. And actually, did she end up dying? Did the butterfly die?
The butterfly ended up dying saving Godzilla.
Oh,
but the bird that it stabbed showed up at the end of the
You're
movie.
right. You're absolutely right.
Showed up at the
You're
end of the
right.
movie.
Oh my God, you're right. Yeah.
So what was the point of the butterfly?
They just made they kept coming back to this butterfly the whole time. Made such a huge point about it being important, and it was pointless.
The only thing that I can think of that the butterfly actually was there for was it led them to Godzilla after they killed Godzilla.
And they were already sitting there. They were already chilling in the water, and they're just like, it just was flapping its wings, and they're like, it's telling Godzilla's alive. How'd you get that from it flapping its wings? But whatever. I do love in movies though when stuff hits the fan.
Right.
Like I love when the like evil villain plan or some type of plan goes wrong, and then everyone looks surprised like our plan failed. Like you knew that was gonna fail. You knew that wasn't like a foolproof plan.
I don't think they knew it was gonna fail because they had a foolproof plan. The only problem was old girl flipped the switch on them. Like if she would have let old girl, her daughter, stay with the father, or went with the father that week, and then just told the father, hey, heads up, you need to go get to a bunker. The plan would have worked perfectly. It went off without
well, King Ghidorah they was doing because they wanted to unleash them one at a time, but then King Ghidorah got them all out at one time. Except for Kong. Kong said, I applaud Kong because Kong said, I'm not messing with it. Like he said, I'm staying in the forest.
The thing is, Kong is already out though. Like
he's already out. So he heard the call and was just like, I'm chilling. I'm staying in the jungle. Y'all do what y'all got to do. But
Kong is like, listen, man, I already fought them.
Yeah.
I ain't going over there. That's y'all problem. Y'all got a whole woolly mammoth and a couple other insects.
I got Samuel L. Jackson. I got Brie Larson. I got a good movie over here. Yeah, I'm about to mess my legacy up. So I applaud Kong for that. Early on in the movie, though, I was thinking, this gets the action. Mm-hmm. Like, this is... So, when I went to it, I wasn't expecting it to be a great movie. I just was expecting it to be monsters fighting each other, right? So, I'm just like, I'm going to go, and it's going to be monsters going nuts, fighting each other, whatever. I wasn't expecting a great plot. So I don't know why they kept trying to write and be like, no, we do have something good. Like, we have been spending time on the plot. It's like, no, you didn't. It's terrible. So just show me the monsters fighting. That's it. You can let's just start the movie off with, like, you see a shot of Millie Bobby Brown with, like, a little bit of hair that she just grew back from Stranger Things, and then get right to the action, right? And that could have just been the whole, and it didn't need to be 2 hours and 12 minutes.
Nah, it didn't.
2 hours and 12 minutes? Come on, man.
Especially... the one thing I didn't like about it was that it started off in 2014. Like, so my grandmother brought up a very good point when we were sitting this morning. She was like, the movie started off in 2014. She looked at me and went, so San Francisco just blew up and we didn't know nothing about it over here in Detroit?
Right.
And I was like, well, Grandma, she was like, nah, I don't want to hear it no more. So she was kind of like, they had to fight to get her back into the movie. I'm like,
that's amazing.
I was like,
She was like, so Dre's grandmother would like Detroit to be, don't forget about Detroit, next movie.
Let us know.
Let us know
something.
Yeah.
You let everybody else know.
Let the next one be in Detroit. It's a lot of abandoned buildings here. Yeah. Don't make it. Don't do it.
I mean, the only thing you can do to make that movie, actually, give it to Marvel.
I was saying. I mean, you like this one, so I mean,
I liked it,
no need for a third.
Nah.
All right, that's fair. That is fair.
I liked it, but I also liked
Another Kong. I'm down for another Kong. 100%. They can make 2 more Kongs. And they keep it that.
You can make Godzilla fight Kong.
Yeah.
But you gotta put it in Africa though.
The only
just Kong is not leaving Africa. Like
he's chilling. The only thing with them fighting is because they're supposed to both be good. Like I don't want to see the 2 good guys and they realize at the end, oh, we're both good. We're both here to save humans. Like just let them.
I mean, Godzilla's he's been alive for so long.
Yeah.
That's the perfect way to kill him off.
Here's the thing. If Kong loses, I'm gonna be really mad.
Kong loses, a lot of people are really mad.
Yeah.
So that's the perfect way. Just make Kong the new king of the monsters, because now you can start a trilogy of Kong fighting all these monsters over here, because there's 1,000 of them. Except they had 16.
Yeah, it is a lot. They did set it up for us to keep getting crap. What they could do is, and what they'll likely do, mark my words, they'll have Kong and Godzilla in the same movie. Mm-hmm. They've already kind of set that up. They'll probably start off fighting each other, then realize they're on the same team, and then have to team up to fight another King Ghidorah type monster. That's what's going to happen. I can already see it. They're going to fight each other to start the first half of the movie, and they're going to become friends, and then fight a bigger, actual evil monster that somehow is bigger and more powerful than King Ghidorah, that they forgot about, that's been buried 20,000 feet below ground. It'd be some stuff like that. I can already see it. I can see the movie. I can see them thinking that that's a good idea.
Please don't Batman versus Superman us.
Oh, they are.
I can't take that.
You're right. They'll probably bring Zack Snyder in too to do it. I knew that they weren't gonna let the. So certain characters you're like, okay, they're not gonna die. Like you realize at a certain point, like, okay, that person's not gonna die. I knew they weren't gonna let the general, the black lady with the bald head.
She couldn't die.
I knew they were gonna let her die just for optics. Like she's the only black lady in the movie. Like they can't let her die. Like because you're gonna get too much backlash. So I knew she was gonna live. When they found the underground like ancient world that was like Atlantis, where he was like hiding away.
Yeah. I
was like, where are we going? They're like, see here, and there's like hieroglyphics and stuff like that of the monster. I was like, come on, where's this movie going? What are you doing? Like, I don't know how it got so out of hand in the writing room.
I think it was a lot of people trying to take like all those ancient stories, because you got a 3-headed monster, right. Godzilla, Atlantis, Kong. They sold flashes of Kong in there. So I'm like, y'all got all of these things that y'all trying to put in there at one point.
Yeah.
And it was just like, you know what, we got to cap it off at some point.
Yeah.
So it was like, we're going to put Atlantis in there. Yeah. And that's going to be it. I honestly thought when it was going through that scene, I'm like, it's going to be like 2 mermaids that pop up.
Yo, and you're right. And you see a mummy come out of like, you know what I mean? Like, I was just like, where are we going? Zombies raise up after Godzilla kills them. I'm like, I don't know, man. It was getting out of control. But to that point, make it make sense. So it's a funny thing I always say back to my dad, because he's always like, whenever you go see a movie and it's just too unrealistic, my dad's just like, make it make sense. Make it make sense. That's all he says, right? So I always joke with him now, like when I go see a movie and it doesn't, and I'm like, it's stupid, I'm like, I just hit him up and be like, yo, make it make sense. Like, he always laughs. But you do have to throw logic out of the window when going to see these movies, which I understand. But where I think movies get it twisted is, yes, I'm throwing logic out the window as far as like, yes, there's no such thing as monsters, and monsters that would fight each other and that breathe lightning and fly, all that stuff, obviously. Right. But what they also do is they throw like logical train of thought out the window, and that can't be. Like, I want to see like in a logical situation, but with people still like, what would we actually do in these situations? But then the people in the movies are doing illogical things, which just make it too crazy, right? Just to make that a little bit more realistic. Also, I'm not attempting to kill something that spits fire and lightning out of its mouth. I'm not trying to kill it. I'm staying as far away. I'm running. They're like plotting to kill Godzilla, and I'm like, how many of you does he have to kill for you to get the point?
But now they know how to kill Godzilla, though.
You ain't lying. Yeah, that is true.
They know how to. They couldn't kill the 3-headed monster because
it was an alien. Yo, that was that thing too. It was an alien. I was like, come on.
When it came out the water, I was like, so the movie's just gonna keep going. I'm like, okay, all right.
I forgot about the water part. Yeah, Godzilla went 1 for 3 this movie. He was 1 in 3, 1 for 4. And this movie, he won the final battle. So he won the final battle. Obviously won, because that's just the way the movie goes. Right. But King Ghidorah gave him the work like 3 times. The first battle in Antarctica, the second one in the water.
I think he won the water fight though. If it wasn't for the humans interfering and shooting the oxygen bomb in there, he already had one of the heads.
That is true. Okay, you know what? You're right. You know what? You're absolutely right. The the humans did interfere on that one.
And that's why I say just stop touching
You know what?
stuff.
You're right. The humans messed that one up. I will. You know what? I will give you that one. They messed that one up. The second, but he did. He would have had him there. But then, yeah. So he went 2-2. He went 2-2. And came out with the dub. So I guess that's all that matters. Also, I always hate this, and I was thinking this when I went and saw the Dark Phoenix the other day. And they were like, it was a scene where they're like shooting up, the villain, and nothing was happening and all this stuff. Why keep shooting something if it's not working? If I shoot something, let's say I go to shoot you, right? And the bullet bounces off of you, like you're steel. There's no more shots being fired. I'm running. But in these movies, they're just like, they're shooting Godzilla. You know what I mean? They'll be like shooting Ghidorah. They were like shooting Ghidorah's like leg. And then nothing happened. Obviously, it didn't even phase him. He didn't even flinch. And then they just pull out more guns. And I'm like, no. You're not getting the point. It's literally like playing charades, and the person keeps guessing the same thing. And you're like, no, go next thing. Like, no, that's not it. And they just keep saying it. And I'm like, no. That's literally what I think in these movies when they keep shooting.
One of my favorite scenes was, it was like when they first woke up Ghidorah, and they were still, like you said, they were on top of the ice. They was in Antarctica shooting at it.
Yeah.
And like the middle head had came down. No, it was one of the heads had came down and was just chilling, looking at him like, you just gonna keep shooting me, dude?
Yeah.
And then the other one was like, all right, spit fire on him one time.
Literally.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay.
Yeah, come on, man. Like, let's make it make sense. There were a lot of brushes with death, which you expect, right? But Millie Bobby Brown, explain this to me, writers. Remember when she's in Fenway Park and she dodges the lightning goes through and she dodges it?
Yeah.
So tell me how Millie Bobby Brown can dodge lightning but Godzilla can't. Explain that one.
And it wasn't like she was dodging it from one dragon. It was like each head was shooting at different times.
And she's just taptoeing, skipping through the lightning, and Godzilla can't dodge the lightning. Like, what are we doing? What message are we sending? What are we doing, writers? And she didn't even have her powers from Stranger Things. If she still had her powers as 11, then I'd be like, all right, like whatever, like it's 11. But she's just Millie in this one.
Crazy part, she wasn't even running fast. It looked like she was skipping. I was
literally skipping. Like I'm not even exaggerating. Like she was like, all right, I guess I'll move. Like that's how she was moving, and she still managed to dodge the lightning. And then she runs off into her old house, and they find her hiding in the tub. The entire house is blown away. Entire house. And all that's left is a tub with rubble over it, and she's in the tub without a scratch. Not a scratch. She didn't even look dirty. She looked clean. She looked like she just had a shower. And that's how she's cool. She coughs a little bit and then she comes to.
Yeah. She was
completely fine.
She was a little wet. Dude.
She was a little wet. It was crazy. The whole city destroyed. Population gone. I mean, the entire city of Boston gone. And they're riding around like the good guys now, right? They're riding around in a new whip. A new whip. It's not even. It's brand new, fresh off the lot. Now, mind you, this is decay. It looks like the world is ending. They're riding around in a brand new Hummer with no scratches, no injuries. I was just like, come on.
I mean, it was from what it looked like. There was no monster in Boston prior to the situation. They just knew that the monster was coming to Boston for some reason. So, when Millie first got there, the government was pulling people out. Like they was, hey, let's get out of here.
Right.
That might have just been one of their new Hummers, and they might have pulled up with it and was like, hey, let's use this.
Dre,
one of the ones that never got off the lot. I don't know.
If you say so, Dre. I'm not buying it, but if that's the logic there, for me, someone has to lose some limbs. Someone has to have a heart attack. Someone has to have radiation poisoning. They're doing all this stuff with radiation in the animals. There has to be some consequence for rolling around in a war zone. Like, right. I mean, they're not even getting friendly fire. Like, no one's even catching a bullet. Like, everyone is fine.
Oh, somebody did get, old girl got that shard metal stuck in her leg towards the end. Remember, Shane had to save her and stuff like that.
She got a little something. She got a little scratch. Yeah. So she did catch something, but the rest of them, I mean,
everybody else ended up fine.
I'm like, come on. I mean, you got to at least get like smacked in the head and like you have like concussion. No one even had concussions.
My man's did get blown up. It did just hit the heat. It was like a trailer.
He hit a trailer. That was the first fight. That was the first fight when Godzilla was getting washed. He he hit the trailer, comes down and is like a little dizzy, and then it's fine. I'm like, no, like first of all, he should have died. 2, he at least has to go through concussion protocol, right? Like before he can practice again. So that was just ridiculous. Thank God that God blessed me with. Thank God that I was blessed with flight over fight. I'd rather be able to like run from. You can't fight everything, right? But if I have enough speed to get away from a lot of stuff, then cool. I'll take that. I'll take flight. Also, Boston just got completely just F Boston. Someone didn't like Boston who was writing this film. Someone didn't like Boston because they annihilated Boston, and someone didn't like San Fran in the first one. The corniest part in the movie, when O'Shea said, I was gonna say O'Shea, when they're riding around and the Emma and her ex-husband are arguing, and he goes, if I had you two for parents, I'd run away too. And they're trying to find Millie, and then they stop the car, and then they go, what did you say? And they're like, oh, that's where she's at. She's at the house. Like, it was just the corniest line of all time.
I mean, it was corny, but it served its purpose because you're in Boston. That's where they're from. They were only in San Francisco, I'm going to assume, visiting because that's where the son died at.
Yeah.
So I'm like, she hasn't been in San Francisco. I mean, in Boston for forever because she was in China with her mom trying to wake up the moth. I mean, the caterpillar, whatever it's supposed to be at the end of the day.
Yeah, Mothra.
Right. Yeah. They were waking.
That thing. No, you're talking about the caterpillar that turned into the butterfly that died. Yeah.
So she hasn't been home. Number one, like, kudos for them because that house was clean. Like, it was impeccable. For him to be a drunk, that house was great. Better than any drunk house I've ever seen.
Yeah, that I'm gonna let you have it, Dre. I'm gonna let you have that. In conclusion. Shout out to Kong for deciding to sit this one out. I should have left the theater. I thought about leaving the theater, Dre. I swear I did. I was gonna be like, this is gonna be the first review I do where I didn't even see the full movie. I almost left with like 35 minutes left in the film, maybe 40. I was just gonna be like, I know how this is pretty much gonna end, whatever. I'm glad I did stay simply for the reason that I could talk bad about it more. Had more material to talk about. I did know better than to go see it, but I saw it anyway. I will say it does now enter my list as one of the worst movies I've paid for. It's on that list, Jerry. It's on. It's probably top 5.
Oh, really?
It might be top 5 worst movies I've seen in theater.
Wow.
Yeah, not seen ever, but that I went and paid money for.
To my standpoint, it was a pretty good movie because based off of a little background about me, I studied Mandarin for like kindergarten through 8th grade.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I've heard stories about the 3-headed monsters, and a lot of those names for the monsters were like they had like Chinese or Asian.
Oh, they were
accurate.
So, okay, got it.
So I'm like, okay, so I've heard these stories growing up in school.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it was really dope to see some of the some of the monsters actually on the screen.
Yeah.
But writing wise, everything else, it was pretty trash. Writing wise, the writers for sure didn't help it. They had pretty good cast of actors. Some of those people I like the bald head black lady. She's from 911, and that's one of my favorite TV shows. Okay. O'Shea, I follow him.
Right.
The Mexican army dude, or the Latinx army dude. He was like with O'Shea the whole time.
I don't even remember at this point.
But he plays Mars on She's Gotta Have It on Netflix.
Okay.
So I'm like, they had a lot of people that you
follow.
So I'm like, it's a pretty good one,
It's good. Well, I mean, I think your background in Mandarin and having studied it, you can appreciate some of the stuff a little bit more. So I do understand that. What would you rate it on a scale of 1 to 10?
I give it a solid 6.
Okay. This is getting the lowest rating of a movie that I've reviewed. I'm giving it a 3.9, which is crazy because I'm coming off of a week where I gave Toy Story my highest rating ever. I love Toy Story, but I would suggest so I go through either at the end of my podcast I either say go see it opening night, $5 Tuesday, Netflix, or don't watch it all. For me, I'm gonna say don't watch it all. Dre might tell you to go to the first showing. No, I'm kidding.
Nah. It's for sure a Netflix movie.
Okay.
Well, if they would have ended it the way I wanted it to end, so like at the end where Godzilla was looking at everybody, all the other monsters. Yeah. They just had Kong come out of the background, just like cold clock them.
Oh, and then ended that way, and then set you up for the next.
Yeah. Then I'd have been like, go see it first.
I wouldn't have hated that. I wouldn't have hated that.
It'd have been pretty good, but But yeah, it's a Netflix movie.
Okay. All right.
It's something you see on Netflix or just wait, it'll be on Showtime in a minute.
Yeah, it will be. Yeah, HBO probably won't pick it. That HBO knows better. Yeah, this will be Stars. Stars. Or Showtime. What movie are you excited to to go see coming out soon?
Huge Star Wars fan.
Okay.
And I'm loving that Star Wars is making a comeback. Mm-hmm. But the Joker.
That's what I have as mine too. I've actually already mentioned it before that I was excited for the Joker, but that's what I have as well.
Yeah, I'm scared for it because the last person that played the Joker that well, he went off and took himself out the game.
Yeah.
So the Joker is a.
And this one looks twisted. This one looks more twisted. Like he's gonna because it's more focused on him. So, Joaquin Phoenix. He's a great actor, and I'm excited. I'm excited to see what he does with it. Like I said, I said it before that I'm excited for this, but the trailer did a really great job. And I've said before on here that to have a successful movie, there's a lot of ways you can do it, but one way is through having a good trailer, having an actor or a cast that you can trust. So again, I have faith in this actor, so that has to be revved up, and then having a good release date. If you have those three things, you have a chance. Again, with like a Godzilla. Yeah, I don't know if any of these actors were ones that you'd be like, man, this is like worth going to see. But let's say this was Godzilla and you threw, like similar to Kong, let's say you threw Brie Larson and Samuel L. Jackson in, right? And let's say like they had a good trailer, Godzilla had a good trailer and it had a good release date. It's in the summer. This is a hot time for movies. Mm-hmm. If they would have done all those things, you can have a successful movie because you're at least getting that wave of people that are going to come see it the first week. Right. Even if it gets bad reviews, you're going to have another wave of people that come see it just because they like Samuel L. Jackson or Brie Larson. So I think that right now where the Joker is, it'll probably do pretty good numbers the first weekend. Yeah. And DC needs this win. DC desperately needs this dub. So we'll see. We'll see what they do. It looks good. I'm excited for it, and I hope that they get it. So that's all I have for the podcast. Dre, did you have anything else you want to close out with?
Not really. I mean, Lion King is coming.
So. Hey, turn up. Yeah, I'm hyped up for that.
I'm extremely hyped. So I hope they don't run much out of it.
Hey, like I'm with you.
With all the rest of them, so.
Yeah, do not get me started on the live actions. But yeah, appreciate you coming up here, man. Until next week, listeners, peace out.